is up, everyone? It is your boy, Kevin motherfucking G. Right now, to this day, I just got done beating a 15-year prison sentence.
Peaceful protesters line the street corners.
We want the police to show that they care about us, weed out the bad cops. And he's like, all right, go ahead, drop your pants.
I just see shit coming out. What the fuck?
He drops his shoulder down and he spears the ever-loving fuck out of this guy. Boom! Right to the ground.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Can't breathe.
But. What the fuck is up, everyone? It is your boy, Kevin motherfucking G. Welcome back to the Wandering Mind podcast, where the mind wanders. I, of course, am your beautiful, dapper, sexy, extremely hairy host, Kevin G, and welcome back to another great episode. I'm glad you guys tuned back in. You know, it means a lot. You really get my coochie wet. But before we get too far into the video, first let me introduce you. Maria is back here, of course. You know, the number one co-host of all the interwebs. What's up, Maria?
What up? How you know what it do?
How you doing today?
Oh, you know it's good.
I heard they got you in the closet today.
Huh?
I heard they got you in the closet.
Oh yeah, you know, they got me in there because I'm used to being in there.
We had I was noticing the last podcast, and it'll be easier this way, so I had to put Maria in the closet, aka Studio Marie, aka my old studio, if y'all remember. But this should fix all the audio issues that we were having before. So thank you, Kevin G. And before we get too far into the podcast, let me just say, yes, this is only an audio podcast. Why? Because we have to reach 500 subscribers in order to bring back the video portion of the podcast. Until I reach 500 subscribers, there will be no video on these podcasts, okay? But if you really, really cannot go without seeing my beautiful motherfucking hairy face, patreon.com/The Wandering Mind Podcasts. That is where you can get exclusive videos, early access to the podcast, and unedited content that is just too hot for YouTube. Remember, if you want to support me on Patreon, it is only $3 a month, right? That's $3. Who don't got $3? Even the homeless man down the fucking street has $3. If you can afford it, please do so. And if you cannot, that's all right, you broke bastards. Go ahead and support me by sharing the video, liking it, any other free way, the way I do it. I mean, I ain't hating on you. You feel me? I do the same thing. I watch nothing but podcasters, and I don't support financially, that is. But you know, I support by sharing the message, and at the end of the day, that's what really matters, okay? As long as these videos are being shared, as long as these videos are being sent out to the worldwide global market of the elites, that's all that matters. Remember, patreon.com/The Wandering Mind Podcast. And if you want to follow me on social media, I only have one social media, and that social media is Instagram /The Wandering Mind Podcast. The podcast is spelled with the 0, so The Wandering Mind P0 Podcast, right? Podcast. All right, you'll find me on there. I do live videos, so if you want to wake up with me, I'm always up early in the morning, heading to the gym. I'll get more into that here in a bit. I'm thinking of doing some live portion with it. You know, maybe my car ride to the gym. I could possibly just shoot a live video. You know, from waking up to heading to the gym, trying to get a little bit more motivated, David Goggins style or whatever. But yeah, that's on Instagram. That is my only social media. So if you, excuse me, I got a burp. So if you find any other social media with me, that is not me. I only have uno, and that is Instagram. And of course, last but not least, if you guys have not yet subscribed to my second YouTube channel, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Really? Really? You're not going to subscribe. That is Delirious Escapade on YouTube. That is more where I show my vlogs. That is more where I show my day-to-day business. You feel me? Today we are having a really great day, and you know, it's gonna be the next vlog coming up, and these are really exciting. I mean, if you really like adventure type vlogs, this is where Maria and I just go out and adventure. We just do whatever the fuck we want. I believe the last video was us one wheeling and Maria falling. And did you like falling, Maria?
Oh, you know, it's always a good fall during this fall weather.
How's your hip?
Oh, my hip, it's not bad, you know. It still kind of hurts, but it's still good.
Cause I was looking at the pictures, cause I went on my phone and I started deleting some photos, and I saw that big nasty purple fucking hip injury.
Yeah. No, like I feel it every time I bump into it, but like there's like a little bump in there or something. I don't know, my hip is all fucked up now.
That's what happens when you fall off the one wheel. She is a pro elite. But remember, that is youtube.com/DeleriousEscapade. Listen, we got a great topic today. Okay, we're going ahead and we're rearranging the format of the podcast. Okay, nothing is like going dramatically different. I am just going to be more prepared is the word, right? Because I have all these good stories that I need to tell the world. I need to let everybody know, right? I need everybody to hear these stories, but I need to be more concise and I need to show all the details, right? So I went ahead, thought of some really great stories, and I thought of mostly all the detail, every detail that I could think of, because details are important when it comes to a good story, a great story nonetheless. So, you know, I went ahead and said, you know, we're going to start putting themes. We're going to put themes to every podcast moving forward, because that way you guys know what's coming up in this podcast, you know, and it just seems a little bit more right for me. And this theme for the podcast today, all right, they're going to change every week. The theme for this podcast is
childhood memories.
That's right. Kevin G is going back into his brain to try to think. I just referred to myself in the third person. That's right. I did that. Let me wet my whistle a little bit. Oops. All right. Here we go. So I went in my memory bank and found the goodest stories that I could think of. And these stories, I think you're going to find entertaining, because go ahead. These are all true stories, right? This is back when I was a youngin'. This is back when I was a young whippersnapper, back when my back was nice and crisp, before the arthritis really hurt my back. But we're going to start off with let me see, which story do I want to start off with? Okay, I know which story we'll start off with. How about we start off with this one? This is a real goodie, because let me describe to you guys who I was when I was a younger, fresher kid. When I was younger, I wasn't always this handsome. I wasn't always this good looking, ripped, you know. I was a chunky kid. I was like a big kid, you feel me? Like I was like 170 when I was like maybe 10, 13 years old, man. I was eating. Your boy liked to scarf down tacos. When I saw food around, like I literally inhaled it through my nose like it was cocaine, man. I fucking had a food addiction. Like, I don't even know if it was a it was a full-blown food addiction. Because food is what made me happy. When you're a younger cat, you don't have anything really, you know. You see yourself in the mirror, you're like, I'm so fat. And then what do? You go for that fucking Twinkie and you shove it down your fucking pie hole. And that's what you have to do. That's what was me. That was classic Kevin. Everything I did involved eating food. And I mean, if you look at all the old pictures of me, I was a big boy. I had man titties. Not boy titties. I had man titties at the age of 10. Them bitches droop like gorilla tits. And that's just okay with me. No, actually, it wasn't okay with me. It hurt my feelings. You know why? Because my brothers would always make fun of me. I would be the laughing stock of the family. It hurt. My uncles would come around, and luego, they'd start making fun of me. They'd start telling me stuff. Hold up. I'm gonna go move the cats, okay? Because these cats are really starting to get in my fucking nerve. I'm gonna go put them in the room.
They're trying to chill with me.
No, yeah, that's why.
Is it all of them?
No, it's mainly Cheech and View. Say something, Maria. Keep the podcast going. Speak about something.
Well, the other day, I don't know. I was a little gray, and then I felt a little blue. You know what it do? A Scooby-Doo. A Ruby-Roo.
And that was brought to you by Marie Guadalupe's The Dirty Poops. Yeah, man, I swear having these cats, I love them sometimes, but they could be on my nerve, man. I swear to God, these cats, I'm not even going to get into it. We got a long podcast. You see, even now, I am a fat boy. You could see I'm breathing heavy, and that was just me carrying an 8-pound cat into the room. Hold on. Let me catch my breath. You see, talking about fat kid stories right away, I got that fat kid breath. I don't know. You got any chocolate bars? I just ate a sandwich, but my mom forgot to put bologna in it. I don't think she forgot. I think she just wants me to be skinnier. That was me. Okay, so yes, I was the young fat kid who would be ridiculed by the uncles, by the parents, by the bros, by the cousins, everybody, okay? I remember this one time being a young whippersnapper, swimming. I was a kid who swam with a fucking shirt. That's the kind of fat kid that I was. And you know how much more embarrassing it is to swim with a shirt than without it? You have to be very, very low self-esteemed to be wearing a shirt in the pool. Because think about it, who is gonna be more spotted out? A person, just a regular fat guy with his shirt taken off, or that insecure fat motherfucking bastard with that shirt on his back trying to cover up them big orangutan nipples? That's right, the fat guy wearing a shirt. And for many years, like maybe up until recently, at least like maybe 5 years ago, I finally got the confidence to take my socks off. After a while, I did skinny up later on, but that was late. I was way later on, like maybe towards the end of high school career. But yeah, so that's let me just, okay, here's a quick little story. When I used to get tacos, because our parents would get us tacos, I'm gonna tell you how much of a fat kid I was. When I would get tacos, I'd get like 6 tacos de asada, 6 tacos. How do you say that on white people form? 6 steak tacos. 6 marinated Mexican tacos topped with some cilantro, a little bit of onion, and just a dab of hot sauce. Nothing too much because it'll burn my tongue. You know how that pepper is? That pepper is muy caliente. So as I was eating my tacos, there would be meat falling from the tacos. You know how it is when you're eating your tacos. It's gonna happen. The meat is gonna fall out of the bottom. So hold up, this other cat is killing me again. Oh God, it's unraveling.
What's unraveling?
Okay.
Your assholes? Your asshole hairs?
My ass hairs are fucking going crazy right now. Okay, sorry about the heavy breathing again. I'm a fat ass. You know how it is. Let's get back to the story. So you know how you eat your tacos? The meat falls from the bottom of the tacos. Most people would just grab that with their fingers, shove it back in your mouth. Not this guy. Not this motherfucking fat kid. You know what I did? This is what I did. I grabbed that meat. I purposefully, right? Kevin G, on purpose, let meat fall out of my taco. I knew, I knew that the meat was falling from my taco. And sometimes I would just push it out. Like, I'd tap the bottom of my taco just so steak could fall out of my taco. Why? Why would I do this, you're saying? Why, Kevin, why are you doing that? Well, here's the reason. I had a plan. I was a smart, chunky kid, you feel me? I had a brain the size of a fucking Albert Einstein. So this, my parents would hate this. My parents would hate this. All the meat that was stored at the bottom of my aluminum foil, I like put it into a little pile, right? I went and turned on the stovetop. I grabbed the comal, what do these white people call it? The saucepan or whatever, you know, to warm up my tortillas. I warmed up 4 more tortillas on the grill. Used the excess meat that fell out of my taco and made 4 more tacos out of them. That's the kind of fat kid that I was. And as I was doing that, my parents would be like, Kevin, te vas a comer más. No, Kevin, you're gonna eat more. I just love food, man. Even to this day, your boy loves eating. And then I'd be like, you know, I'd have a tear in my eye. I tengo hambre. I had an appetite that did not go away. And that's just so you know what kind of person is in this story, right? A chunky, insecure, still not fully developed Kevin G. But you're getting there, Kev. You know, you'll get there, little Kev. Keep trying. It gets better. So, for the first story, this first story is a very good one. Okay, this is a triumphant story. This is a story of when you and another person have a plan and it all fucking works. Because it doesn't always work out. It doesn't. But sometimes when the purpose is right and you know that you are in the right, there is no way the plan could fail. So the story I'm telling you guys today is about when me and my younger brother dominated our older brother. He had no idea. It was 2 against 1. The poor bastard never had a chance. All right. So let me just set the story up. Right. This is back in 2008. I was about 14 years at my fucking mouth is having trouble with the words. I feel like Maria over here.
You have balls in your mouth.
Oh really? You gonna start roasting me already, huh? Okay, I was 14 years old at the time. My younger bro Emmanuel, he was 12. Fuck 12.
12.
Yeah, like I said, this was back in 2008. You know, this is young, sexy Kevin. You know, I bet you a pedophile would want to finger my asshole at this time. Probably not, because it'd get like a shitload of shit or whatever. Okay, this is what we were doing. This is on our new house. So this, you know, I'm gonna get to a different story, but this is not the trailer. This is the brand new house that my parents acquired. Right? New house, a new self-esteem. I'm feeling like I am on top of the world. So there we were, little bro. I'm gonna call him Monty because that's what I call him. Little Monty and I were just watching TV on the couch, watching Ed, and Eddie. Who doesn't love Ed, and Eddie? Everybody loves Ed and Eddie. It's a classic 90s show. Well, it's not 90s, it's 2000s, but fuck it. There we were watching Ed, and Eddie. And our older bro, Jesus, who was 16 years old at the time, right? And 16 years old back in the day? Shit. That motherfucker was like 32. You feel me? It ain't the same 16-year-old nowadays. So this guy comes through thinking he's hot shit. He just walks into the living room, grabs the remote from Monty, changes the channel and just says, I'm watching TV. And me and Monty are just like, what the we were watching Ed, Edd and Eddy. And then he's like, not anymore, I'm watching TV here. And you would be like, well, why don't you just go to a different TV and start watching? Listen, we were broke Mexicans. We only had one TV in the living room. There was no other TV. So that was the only option we had. So and like after he did that to us, like we gave each other the stare. I'm talking that stare you give someone when you both are on the same page. You know, you both are having the same train of thought. I gave him the look. He gave me the look. We nodded. And then we went to the kitchen. And the living room is in front and the kitchen is behind the living room. So we went into the kitchen and we started planning. We started plotting. Like, this shit got real. And we were saying like, how are we gonna do this? I want to watch TV because it was a good Ed, Edd and Eddy episode. You feel me? I don't know if it was a marathon or what, but that they were playing back to back Ed, Edd and Eddy. Me and my bro were just watching there. And then I told him, hey, being the older bro, I'm the middle child. He's the younger one. Hey, Jesus is the older one. So being his older brother, you know, I knew I had to take the what is it, the blunt? I think it's the blunt, or I don't know what it's called. The brute of the. I was the one who had to take all the fucking impact. So I told him, listen, I'm willing to tackle him, but you know his long legs. You've seen how long them motherfucking snake legs are. If you don't know, Jesus has legs about 7 feet long. His body is about 2 inches.
He's 90% legs, for goodness sakes.
He's 90% legs. He is like unproportionately long. All right, his legs, they really helped him out in wrestling. And they really helped him out in every other situation, to be honest. Like, he could kick like a motherfucker. Okay, but I told him, I'm willing to tackle him. But you know how his legs are. Like, if he has control over his legs, that's like the same as him having control over his arms. His legs could do things that you think cannot happen. This guy is grabbing like pillows with his leg. He's like uppercutting people with his knees. Like, Jesus Christ. It was scary. I told him, I'm going to tackle him, but you are going to have to control his legs. Because it's going to have to be a two-way process. I tackle him, get him to the ground, and then that's when you immediately pounce on his legs. Because if you don't, we're both getting our asses beat. And this is Jesus when he beat asses, you feel me? This is like, I got stories with him. This is like, I'm telling you, this dude is beating my ass hard, right? I'm not gonna get into that story. That's a different one. But this guy, just know this guy would beat the ever loving fuck out of me, and not no like, you know, not no little like punch, like a little like punch. He beat my ass. Like, he would grab a broom handle and beat the shit out of me. He'd like punch me hard as fuck. He made me bleed. Okay, so knowing this, I still am willing to risk it for the biscuit. Because Ed, Edd and Eddy is on TV, and there is no one that is going to keep that from me. So he doesn't know it, but he's just watching TV on the couch. And then we slowly approach. It was like we were two robbers slowly going to mug this man. Monty is right behind me, you know, tiptoeing, right? We both tiptoeing because we don't want him to know. Because if he turns his head and sees us, it's game over, bro. Game fucking over. So as he's laying down on the couch, I have to get my head in the right mindset. I'm like, okay, Kevin. Like, you know, it's a big deal for me. This is like big deal. He's laying on the couch, and I have to jump over the couch and like wrap my arms around his body And so that's what I did. I jumped over the couch, I grabbed him by the body, and we tumbled to the ground. Like, I slammed him to the carpet. It was carpet, so it was nothing like hard. So I slam him to the carpet, and that's when Monty jumps over the couch, and he like wrangles his legs. He's like, you see him, like, I'm telling you, his legs, like, they're so fucking powerful. You just see little Monty just, you know, like, imagine, like, you know, when some like when a scrawny motherfucker is holding the fire hose, and he's just, you know, getting like completely tossed around, just whoom, whoom, whoom. That was Emmanuel right there. Like, he was like, hold on, and I'm hugging him as tight as he can. This wild animal is going crazy because he had no idea what was going on. We completely surprised the son bitch, and then Monty is just like, fucking screaming, just doesn't. I got him into a mess. I really got him into a big pickle this day, and he's just like flying. His legs are going, he's bucking like a fucking bull. You know how they do, just a boom. And then I'm holding on to him. He's like, he's staring at me in the eyeballs. I have him I'm on the side of him, like I'm holding him by the side, so he looks at me. He's looking at me. I'm staring at the devil right there. You know, his eyes are completely red. He looks like he's seeing death, like if he, oh man, luckily he couldn't headbutt me because I don't know, he couldn't reach that far. Like I had him like underneath, I was like under his chin, so he couldn't headbutt me or nothing. So he's just like looking at me, I'm looking up at him, like, you know, I'm scared as fuck too. I'm only 14 years old, he's 16 is an adult. Monty is over there, but you know, eventually, like, everybody runs out of steam eventually. So he ran out of energy. He was like, you know, it's like when right before, like when you're putting down, when the vets put down an animal to sleep, not to die, but you know, just to get their nuts removed or whatever. You know, they go crazy, and then you slowly see him like start to succumb to the medicine, like, and that's what he was doing. His body was like doing the last 3 or 4 twitches, just, you know, you just see Monty just a couple more times. His feet finally hit the carpet. His body stops moving, and he's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" But he couldn't move. And then we're like, "We said we're watching Ed, and Eddie." And then he was like, "Get off of me." And then we're like, "No, we're not getting off of you until you promise that we're gonna watch Ed, and Eddie." And then the remote was on the couch, so I'm like, this guy better not back up on his promise. You feel me? I'm a rush towards that control. And then he's like, okay, fine. You can watch Ed, and Eddie. And then I look at Monty. Hold up, don't let him go yet. You promise. For some reason, I thought a promise was, you know, you can't break a promise. And even worse, I told him pinky promise, because when you're younger, a pinky promise is like on God. You feel me? If you break a pinky promise, that's like 1,000 years bad luck. So I assumed. Well, actually, no, he did. He was good for his word. So we let him go. We let this fucking beast go. And then he just gets up and he's like, "You guys are crazy." And then he just walks away up into his room. He just walks away. Monty and I just look at each other, flabbergasted. Like, it feels like I was riding a little high. Like, I felt like I just took a big puff of something, and I was like, you know, the adrenaline is still in my system. I'm shaking. My hands are like, I see little Emmanuel. He's over there, red-faced, huffing and puffing. Just, he just survived. Like, I don't know. I think he had the worst end of the deal, because literally, I would see him. He's like a little monkey just grabbing onto him. He was flapping around. Hilarious. And then, like, we just look at each other, and then we give each other the nod again. We're like, that was crazy. And then we sit back on the couch, and we resume watching our Ed, and Eddie. What do you think of that story?
Damn, you freaking tackled him down for all that shit?
What do you mean for all that shit? He took our TV.
Well, it is true, you know. I would have kicked my older bro's ass too. But,
How many TVs did you have in your house growing up?
one.
See? You know what I mean? When somebody takes your TV and it's a one and only, it means a lot.
But you know what? Like, cause me being the youngest of freaking 6, me being the 6th one, it's like, I can't say shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, get out of here, you know?
You were the twerp. That's what you were.
Yeah, so I had to watch whatever the hell they were watching, or if not, I just had to leave.
Yeah. And that's how, I mean, you never had one of those, one of those crazy moments where you just say, we've had enough. You could never do that because they were way too older than you, huh?
Oh, yeah. They're like 13 plus older than me. They're 13 years older than me or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Then, luckily, he was only 2 years older than me and 4 years older than Emmanuel. So, you know, we were too strong for him. But we won that day. That was like, I mean, even to this day, that's why I'm telling you the story. It was a big battle that happened. And we still feel blessed to this day we got out with it, you know? But that was just a warm up. That was just to warm y'all up. You feel me? Let's go on to, you guys want to hear another one? Let's put a little scary, hey editor, put a little scary music here. You got it? All right. This one is a little bit more creepier. This one is on the more scary side. And these are all true stories. Remember, for some reason, I do not know why, I always have been a beacon for paranormal or scary situations. I always have been, you know. And they say it's because if you're open to that kind of possibility, then that is what attracts it. Because the people who do not believe in that kind of thing, they won't get that experience because they're not open to that possibility. So therefore, they're not getting that info. They're not getting that option to have it happen.
So how is it that you're open to it? Does it mean because you believe?
Yes, that's pretty much what it means. Like you're open. You're open to the idea that aliens, like there could be aliens. You're open to the idea that there could be ghosts. You're open to the idea that, you know, there's a greater world out there than what you see.
But like, you know, the thing I don't get is that like I don't really have nothing of that because I believe in all that shit and I sleep fine.
You haven't you had any like scary stories? Nothing like you've seen some weird shit.
Yeah, but they're like, honestly, I've had so many like nightmares just growing up. Like I'm used to it. But I haven't really had any like sleep paralysis or shit like that.
Yeah. Well, some of y'all are lucky. I don't know why, but like I've always just like attracted that.
Could it be that you're scared?
I'm scared.
That you fear it? You know?
I heard that they feed off fear, so that might be a thing too. I'm not gonna lie, that is a possibility.
Cause like when I think about stuff like that, I don't fear it, you know?
Really?
I'm a boss.
Like a boss. Okay, well, this story takes place back in 2002. This is back when I was just 8 years old, just a young child. And some of you might just say, well, Kevin, you had that imagination of a child. You know, fuck you. I've always had a good imagination, and this ain't no imagination. All right, I'm gonna get into this story, and you're gonna be like, yo, if this does not give you a good, like a chill down your ass crack, I don't know. You must have like balls the size of steel. This is one scary story if you're a child, okay? Now let me preface this. Let me set up the scene, right? So about 2 days ago, that's when my older bro Jesus showed us the movie Chucky. And Chucky at that time was scary as fuck. Like, you being a kid, see that you have toys all around. You know all about toys. And the thought of one coming to life and murdering you, that is enough to make you shit yourself. And I didn't know. Like, I went into this movie blind. My older bro told me, hey, you want to watch this movie? And it was Chucky. And then my parents told me, it's because it was a family movie night, I guess. You know, everybody's watching it. And then my mom was like, no puedes ver esto. You can't see this. It's too scary for you. And then I was like, yo lo quiero ver. You know, I want to see it. And my mom was like, pues si te da pesadillas, don't cry. You know, if you get nightmares, you better not bitch about it. And then I was like, no voy a llorar. No, it's okay. So they go ahead and let me watch this movie during family movie night. We're just sitting on the couch watching it. And the beginning, you just see the doll. The doll is creepy enough in itself. You just see the creepy doll face, the red hair. I believe he had freckles, the little overalls. Everything about that dude was scary as fuck. But I sat there because as a child, I want to seem like an adult, you know? I don't want them to think I'm a bitch. What, you think I'm scared of this movie? Nuh-uh, I'm a big boy. So that's just what I did. I just sat there throughout this whole movie of murder, of sneaking around, and of dolls coming to life. I remember listening to him just say that word, whatever the fuck he said to bring the bitch to life. And like those words haunted me. They were like, what the fuck? I didn't know what he said. You get me? That was not English. That was not Spanish. That was some sort of doll language or something. I think it was a curse. Is what ended up happening, right? That's what brought him to life. A curse. And then this is 2 days. This is 2 days before the story I'm gonna tell, right? So like a couple days passed by. That night I was a little scared, but like we lived in a trailer, you know, just like a rundown trailer, 3 boys in 1 small room. So it was me and my 2 older bros, the ones I just spoke about, Jesus and Manny. We had a bunk bed, right? Our older bro Jesus, he slept the top bunk, and then on the bottom bunk, that's where me and Manny slept. We would always spoon and cuddle together, you know, make out. And that was the layout of our room. It wasn't big, like it was like, if y'all know trailers, you know how big 1 room is. And imagine 3 fucking boys in that room. That shit was a mess. Smelled like fucking piss, shit, nasty feet. Man,
fucking Mecco stains all over. Mecco stains all over.
From Jesus, not me yet. I was still too young to know what that is. But on this day, right, 2 days later, that's when I was just laying on my bed. I was just chilling on my bed. I don't know what I wasn't like, we had a little TV in there, but I don't know if it worked. I don't know. I was laying in bed, chilling. And then like, I start to feel my bed shake. And that, like, I was starting to get a little spooked out. Because I'm like, why the fuck is my bed shaking? I'm talking like, it wasn't like it wasn't like a hardcore shake, but it started to shake. It was like, do, 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 do. And what I assumed, I'm like, oh, Mom must have la lavadora on. She must have the washing machine on. And that's what I thought, you know. I'm like, oh, it's just, you know, telling yourself as a kid, it's just a lavadora, it's just a dryer, it's what it is, it's nothing. And then like starts to shake a little bit harder. I'm talking the bedposts start to shake a little bit. You feel the metal just. And then I'm like, oh no, what the fuck? And then, you know, it started shaking pretty good. And I'm like, oh God. And then, you know, I have a doorway. From my doorway, I'm like looking to see if my mom is about to come running in. To see, you know, like, there's an earthquake, get down, you know, anything. but nobody shows. So I'm looking at the doorway. I'm laying down on my bed. I got the covers over my stomach, just laying down. And then that's when I see it. That is when I fucking see it. I know it's gonna be hard to believe. Remember, all true motherfucking story from my head. I'm not lying to you. That's why all this detail. So that you guys know I ain't making shit up. There I was, laying down, and that's when I saw him. I just see a little red-headed, overall-wearing motherfucking doll run past my fucking door. He runs like he ran quick. I only saw him one time, but like it was in slow motion. I saw him like, boom. He didn't look at me. He did not look at me. He just kept running forward, so I saw the side of his head. And we don't own any Chucky dolls. We don't own any like that. I see him run, and I remember I closed my eyes and I could vividly see his red hair, his white face. He had blue overalls and a red shirt. He had the little baby shoes. Just all you could hear is like literally it was like that, just fast. And I seen him. Oh God, I fucking started like I put my blankets over my head. I was so fucking terrified. And after he ran past the door, oh, I'm so glad he did not come in the fucking room. I would have shit myself. After he ran past the room, he like ran past it into the living room, because where he ran is where we have the living room. You know, a trailer isn't that big. It's just one long log cabin pretty much. And suddenly, like, the bed goes from, the whole time the bed's shaking at the same time, and the bed goes from shaking mildly to suddenly it's like someone flipped the switch. That fucking bed started shaking violently. Just like I'm hearing the metal just shake. It feels like the bedposts are like coming off the ground and then back on, just boom, 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 boom. And then like I got my head under the covers and I'm like, ah. And you're probably asking yourself, why didn't you get out of there, Kevin? Why didn't you leave? Because in my head, in my fucking 8-year-old head, what I believed was as soon as I stepped foot onto the ground, something under the bed was about to drag me under the bed, and that's a possibility. At that time, in my head as an 8-year-old boy, I just got done seeing Chucky run by the door. I thought that was a plan to scare me so that I could run and the person under the bed would drag me wherever, like to hell or whatever. I don't know. So I was like just under my sheets crying like, ah, this shit is going like the bedpost is going, and then like my bed is hella violently shaking, and then like I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take it. I was like so fucking scared. So I just start screaming like, ah, and like I just throw like the sheet of the blankets off of me, and then I rush to the fucking door. Like I jumped so my feet wouldn't like be under the bed. So I like jumped towards the door, and then I like run to the living room like, ah, and then I see my mom sitting on the couch. She's like, cabrón, ¿qué traes? And she sees that I'm crying, all like teary-eyed, like all yelling. She's like, cabrón, ¿qué traes? I'm like, yo miré a Chucky. and she gave me that baffled look, like, nigga, what the fuck? And then I bring her, like, she follows me back into the room, and she wants to go look. She's like, what do you mean you went to see Chucky? And then I was telling her how the bed was shaking, and I'm baffled myself. The fact that she didn't hear any of that, or the fact that she did not see Chucky running into the living room, or any of that. My brain is completely just, what the fuck? Did you not just see all that shit? So we go back to my room, and I tell her I was laying down, the bed was shaking, and then I see Chucky just run by, and she looks at it. She looks at the bed, she looks at the post, she looks underneath the bed, because she assumed, just like many of you, I guess, that one of my bros was underneath shaking it, right? She thought, like, it must be your brother just shaking it. She looked under the bed, there was nobody under the fucking bed. Nobody. And then She yelled at me. Is what she did. Cabrón, te dije que no vieras esa película. Right? She's like, I told you not to watch that movie. Right? She thought it was in my head. It was all in my imagination. How much imagination could a kid have, man? Am I really gonna imagine the bed shaking violently? Am I really gonna imagine that little doll running past the trailer? Maybe. I don't know. And then, she didn't believe me. Nobody believed me. I was like, I saw Chuck. I was terrified. I was not in that room alone for like at least a month. Nothing ended up happening after that. Like, he went away. The bed never shook again. But that was just like that one moment that happened. What do you think about that story?
The story? Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
That story is crazy. Yo, so did you really see it? Like, legit?
I'm telling you, I legit saw this guy. Like, I know for a fact I saw him, but like, I cannot 100% verify that it was actually real. But yeah, you ain't never had a doll story like that?
A doll story? Oh, no, not really. I really haven't had a doll story like that, or anything like scary like that. Like just the popping out of nowhere shit. No.
Some of us are lucky, I guess, or unlucky. And I'm gonna leave you guys with one last story here. All right, this last story happens to be a real good one. You get me? This is how I learned to pick your friends. Oh, I got a fucking hair in my mouth. This is how I learned to really pick your friends, because some of them ain't ride or die. So let me preface this story again. Let me set the scenario up. There I was. Wait, 2006. 12 years young, right? I was in middle school. I was a 4th grader. And the other person in this story, we're just gonna call him Will, right? His name is gonna be Will because names and places will have to be changed, because I don't want anybody to be out there, right? So we're gonna call this cat Will. And Will, he was a grade older than I was. He was in 5th grade, right? And he was like 2 years older than me too, I guess. So he was like 14 or something. So then this day, I, as a child, did not have the luxury of having someone bring me to school. I had to walk my happy little ass every day to and fro school on my dos patas, right? I had my dos patas. That's my car. And I had to wake up. It was my responsibility to wake up on time and to get to school. Well, that doesn't always work out, man. I don't know what happened, but on this day, my alarm clock either did not go off, or I hit the snooze button and slept through it. Either way, I was late for school. School started at 8:05. Guess what time your boy woke up? That's right, 7:55. Way too motherfucking late to go to school. I mean, gonna be late. I woke up like, boom, right away. I grabbed whatever I had in the closet, just threw on a shirt, probably had a meckle stain on the shirt. I threw on some pants, had a shit stain on the bottom. Everything was just dirty, you feel me? I had to rush it. I was like, remember, back to who young Kevin was, a chunky little child, having 10 minutes to make it to school. And school, I don't mean to sound like an old man, but school was at least 3 miles away, or maybe 2 or 3 miles away. Okay, I had to walk that every day. There was no person giving us a ride. The only time there was was during the snow, during December when it was really bad. But I'm saying, like, it had to, like, an icicle had to fall on my head for them to take me to school. Like, we walked everywhere we went because our parents both worked the morning shift. So, as a child, we had to be a little bit more responsible. So I throw everything on. I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna be late. They're gonna yell at me. I wasn't really scared of the school. I was more scared of my mom finding out that I was late. Cause let me tell you something. My parents were no joke when it came to punishments, man. They'd beat my ass with the belt. They'd beat my ass with a chancla, huarache. They'd beat my ass con una rama, whatever they found. You get me? They were about that good corporal punishment. Oh, you did something wrong, fool. Orale, ven acá. Let's test out this new alligator belt. And that's what was scaring me. The thought of my father coming home and getting a note. Oh, yeah, Kevin was a little late to school today. Did you guys know that? Oye, Kevin, ven acá. ¿Quieres explicar qué está pasando? Or for you white people, do you want to explain what's going on here? Me desperté tarde. Boom! You feel me? It would have been on sight. So I was terrified at the idea that I was going to get caught being late. So I rush. I start running. I get my backpack. I start rushing like hella fast. And then there's an overpass. Because there's a railroad going like down the that divides the it's a little city, but it divides the two cities. Not two cities, that divides the city. Just a railroad track going in between. And there's this overpass. And I'm about to reach the overpass. And then I see Will. Like, this motherfucker is late too? And then I didn't know it was him at first, but he's coming from a different direction. We're both trailer trash. So he was coming from his trailer, I was coming from my trailer. And he's a chunky kid too. Will, he's a chunky kid. He looked just like me. He had fucking meco stains on his shirt, little shit stains on his. He had his little backpack, his hair wasn't matched. We're just two fat kids meeting up at the overpass, about to be late. And then he's like, Kevin? I'm like, Will? He's like, you woke up late too? And then I was like, yeah. And then we're like, fuck. And then we're like, we didn't start running because we're fat. We ran out of breath like that. We ran out of steam right there. We're like, this is how we were talking. Will, Kevin, you woke up late too? Yeah, I think I slept through my alarm. So we're just we start walking over this bridge. And he came up with this idea. This was not my idea. I was more worried that I was gonna be late. I didn't even have this thought. But as we're going on top of the bridge, as we're crossing the bridge, he's like, hey, what if we write a note? And then he's like, and I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, what if we write an excuse for why we were late? We could just say we were together. We could say your mom was running late because she was having car problems, right? We could say she had a flat tire. She had a flat tire, Kevin. Just say she had a flat tire. So we get to the top of this bridge. He pulls out a little notebook from his backpack. He grabs a pen. He writes it out, right? He writes it out in English, right? My mom does not write in English. She is a Mexican woman, so she only knows, fresh from the border. Give me, her back is still wet. Fresh from the border Mexican. There is no way that she could write English. But for some reason, none of us even had this idea in our head that, hey, maybe it should be in Spanish. No. He went ahead, wrote this note in English, and it read, please excuse Kevin and Will. We were having car issues in the morning. And then that was it. And then he made me I guess, I had to do my part because he wrote it out. So now I had to put my 2 cents in. So he's like, all right, just sign it like your mom would. So I had to forge my mother's signature. Right? He just put like a little line on the bottom, like try to make it look official, like it was some sort of document. And then I just put, yeah, I completely misspelled her name. I don't even know how to spell her name. I don't know how to spell her name. I'm fucking 8. No, how old is this one? No, where is I? Oh, I was 12 years old, and you're thinking, Kevin, you're not old enough to know how to spell your mom's name. No, her name's Mom. Her name's not. Oh, can I go? I'm not gonna say that. No, her name is Mom. All right. She does not have an official name to me. If not, it's Mommy. That's the other name. Mommy or Mom. If it's not those two, I don't know how to spell her name. I barely know how to spell my own. But I butcher it and spell it to the best of my abilities. And then, we're getting cocky at this point, right? We're getting cocky. We're like, oh yeah, we got the note. Man, what's the point of rushing to school now? So now we feel like 2 cool fly guys. We're going down the overpass now. It was a completely different vibe, from rushing all the way to school and, to now just, hey, we got an excuse. So we weren't running anymore. We're just nice and easy taking it. We're like, oh, it's a beautiful day out here. Look at the morning. The birds are chirping. That's some good smelling air. And then it was such a good day that we decided, hey, Will decided, hey, why don't I get you a cappuccino? And I was like, what's a cappuccino? Right? I'm broke. I never fucking got a cappuccino. But he's like, it's like hot chocolate, but really, really good. So instead of rushing to school to get our edumacation, we decide to go to the gas station and get us a little cappuccino. And that shit was scalding hot. That shit was so hot. Like, so hot. If you guys get any coffee or anything from a gas station, you know how hot them bitches are. And like once we reached the gas station, there was maybe less than half a mile to go. Like we're almost there. We see the finish line. Like we could see the finish line, but we're feeling so good we want to coast to the finish line. Handful of cappuccino. Real cool. Just we got an excuse. Just like, oh yeah, everything is cool, calm, and under control. So as we're approaching the middle school, yeah, this is the middle school story. I keep trying to drink my cappuccino, but that shit is too hot. I put it on my lip, it burns my lips. And then I try to put it on my tongue, it burns my tongue. And then we start having at least we had the decency to think of this. We're like, wait, since we're late, wouldn't it be like our mom wouldn't take us to the gas station? Because, she's in a rush too. So we're like, oh, you're right. So both of us, we had to throw away our cappuccinos. Even though they weren't even drunk or drank. I'm telling you, I had maybe 3 sips of and burnt the fuck out of my mouth, but that's it. We just find a trash can and dump them. We just throw the whole things. And then we're like, yeah, okay, now we're cool. All right, that was a close one, Will. Whew, good thing you thought of that one. We almost got caught. So now we're approaching the middle school doors. We open it up. We go inside, still feeling good, still feeling confident. Nobody knows nothing. And then we get to the secretary or whatever that bitch is called. And then we're like, it's probably 8:30 at this point. And then we just walk in, chest up, all confident. Hey, what's up, bitch? Yeah, I'm late, but I know it. And you about to know why. You feel me? That kind of big dick energy. And then I pull out the note from my pocket, a little crumpled up. I'm like, here you go. My mom wrote us a note. It's because we were having car troubles. And then she reads the note. And then like the look on her face, I didn't know it at the time, but like looking back now, I just remember her face. You know when you read some bullshit and then like your face is shook, you like your eyebrows do that twitch, you're like, whoa, like what the fuck? Like that's what that face was. It was like what the fuck? This shit ain't real. Like she knew it wasn't real. She did that twitch. And then she looks at us, she like she gives us that like what am I gonna do with these motherfucking liars? And then she's like, okay boys, get to class. So she just tells us, go to class, right? First period class. And then like 10 minutes into the class, right? I mean, okay, let me see. I get to the classroom, you know, hella cool, like, oh yeah, look at me guys, I'm late, but it's okay. I take my seat, everything seems to be going good, and then that's when I hear the phone ring. Ring. I see the teacher go, pick up the phone. She looks over my direction. My forehead starts to sweat a little bit. I'm like, oh no, what is going on? She keeps looking at me. She hangs up the phone, and she's like, Kevin, you're wanted at the office. And then I'm like, oh shit, like my heart sank. As soon as she said that, I knew something was up. I was like, what do you mean I'm wanted? And she's like, yeah, just go down into the office. They just want to talk to you, I guess. And that walk to the office from the class, I don't know. The walk to the office is, I'm on the second floor of a 3-story building, and the office is located on the first floor. So I have to walk down a couple set of stairs. So that was the longest walk of my motherfucking life. I'm like I'm thinking of any excuse. I'm like, oh shit, what happened? Like I'm like panicking, and like I'm going slower because you know when you're in trouble, there's no rush to get in trouble. What's the rush to get in trouble? So I like slowly walk over there. I pop open the office doors, and then who do I see sitting in the vice principal's office? Fucking Will. Sitting there. He had his face, the look on his face was just like someone just told him that his dog died, someone pissed on his grave, and then like someone spit in his oatmeal. It was just so like depressing. His head was down, his eyes, like all the life that was there in the morning, you know, while he was enjoying his little cappuccino, just cappuccino. Those eyes were now transformed into a dead man's eyes, like just completely gone. He looked a little pale. I go to the office lady and I'm like, they told me to come here. And then she's like, oh yes, go ahead into the vice principal's office. Oh god, shit, boom, everything just crumbled to my feet. I'm like, what? And she's like, why? I'm like, why? And she's like, just going to the vice principal's office. So I take a walk, and it's literally right by this. It's right there. So I just walk into the office, and then I see the principal. We're gonna call him Mr. East, right? Mr. East is sitting there. He's like, take a seat. He stands up and says, take a seat. I take a seat right beside Will. And then I look at Will. He's not even looking at me, man. He's not even looking at me. This guy is avoiding eye contact. And then Mr. East is like, is there anything you want to tell me? And then I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, there seems to be a problem here. And then I'm like, what? And he's like, were you involved with this note? And then he pulls out the note, completely forged, looks so fake. And then I'm like, no, what? No. And then he's like, well, here's the thing, boys. We went ahead and tried to verify that your mother did have car issues, so we called home. Nobody picked up. So we called her job. These bitches called my mom at her job, and she works at a meat packing plant. Right? So they're hard workers. You know, she has to fucking put down the cow head just to go answer a phone, you know? Bloody hands and everything. She's like, bueno! And then they tell her, hey, did you have car troubles this morning? Because your kid is coming in with a note saying that's why he's late. And she didn't tell him. She didn't lie. She didn't lie for me, right? She didn't lie for her own boy, her own flesh and blood, right? We blood, homie. Nah, I came out of her vagina, and that was still not enough for her to vouch for me. She's like, what? No, I didn't have no car trouble. I'm at work. And that's how they knew. So I'm sitting there, and they're like, so who wrote it? He said it with a nice, stern look. He looked at both of us. He's like, who wrote it? And then we like looked at each other. We give each other the look, and then we both know what we're gonna do next. Like, we both know. We don't even say a word. We just lift our finger and point to each other. Like, there was no word spoken. It was just a point. I point at him, he points at me. And then Mr. East is like, seems you boys are still having trouble figuring out who's taking responsibility for this. And if neither of you want to take responsibility, well, both of you can take responsibility. So I'm gonna walk out of this room. I'm gonna give you one chance, and when I come back, I'm gonna give you one chance to tell me who wrote the note. And if not, both of you are gonna assume responsibility and are going to have a week detention. And he just walks out of his office, closes the door, and that's when Will and I stare at each other. And then he's like, Kevin, take responsibility. I gotta pick up my brother after school. And then because his little bro's in elementary, so I guess he has to go to elementary and pick him up and walk him to his house. And then I'm like, fuck no, my mom's gonna hit me if I get detention. I'm supposed to be home right after school. So we're like at a standoff, you know? We're like, I'm not taking responsibility. Do it, come on, you do it. And he's like, you do it. I'm like, do it. And like, we're not coming up to anything. And Mr. East comes back. He comes back into the room, closes the door behind him, goes to his seat, and calmly sits down on his chair. I assume you boys came up with the party that was responsible. And then same thing like last time. Slowly raise the finger, no words, and point at each other. And then he's like, well, since neither of you boys want to assume responsibility, I'm gonna have no other choice but to give both of you the same consequence. And he gave us both a week of detention. That week we both suffered, because I ended up getting my ass beat for lying, first and foremost. I think he ended up getting his ass beat because he was supposed to pick up his little brothers, because his parents worked in the afternoon, so his little brothers were like, where's my big brother? You know, they're like all lost and shit. Probably like some man just grabbed him by the hand and said, come with me, it's okay, I got you. Who knows what happened to his brothers. And that was the week that I first got detention, man. And it's all because he did not want to assume responsibility. Did I have a part in that? Did I have a part in that role? Yes, I did. I signed it. I forged it. And I completely fucked up the signature. But so did he. So at the end of the day, I guess that was the best result that could have happened. Because we were both responsible. But I still feel to this day, he should have took responsibility. I did not come up with that idea. He came up with it. I just went along with it, right? I was too young to even have a brain like this. I was more worried about getting my ass beat from my mom, and I ended up getting my ass beat from my mom. It was a lose-lose situation, man. Any comments on that story, Maria?
On that story? Well, I would have been fucking scared if my parents were there too. Especially if I were to give in to that lie,
But, yeah. But, all right, guys. This is going over an hour now. But thank you, guys, for staying tuned. And listening to the Wandering Mind podcast, where the mind wanders. We will be back with another great and exciting episode, right? Next, what do I have this schedule? I got a schedule. Let me tell you guys a schedule real quick. Hold up. Give me a second. Hold up. Let me do it. Where are you at, bro? Okay, well, basically, every Wednesday, there will be dropping a brand new podcast every Wednesday. One new podcast drops every Wednesday. Thursday, a brand new Delirious Escapade video. Brand new vlog every week. And then on Friday, your boy can't leave you alone. If you follow me on Patreon, there will be a Patreon exclusive video of me. That's a exclusive video only for Patreon. $3 a month, right? And I'm thinking this next, the idea that I'm have, if you guys are on my Instagram, you've seen like a choloed out Kevin right there, right? You see me bald headed, white tee. That's back when I was heavy in the game. You feel me? That's when I was trapping hardcore. So I'm gonna go a little behind the scenes and tell you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys what was going on during that photo. I'm gonna let you guys know what happened, why I took that picture. What happened during that time. I'm going to tell you guys about my trap house that I was living in. I'm going to tell you guys why that picture was taken. And it's a crazy story. You get me? You're going to want to, you really are going to want to hear this behind the scenes to the picture. But you cannot know that unless you pay $3 a month on patreon.com/The Wandering Mind podcast. I'll have links in the description for all my social media, my Patreon, and my second channel. But thank you guys for listening. And we'll see you guys next week. Later.